The message for today is surrender and trust. Um, and that's literally what I'm doing in this talk because I don't even know exactly what's coming up. So I'm just going to trust that the message that's required is going to come out. So surrendering and trusting is kind of maybe the biggest secret to this whole world, reality, the spiritual awakening that's going on for all of us right now. Also related to that is the concept of asking for help and then receiving it from reality, from other people. You got to be willing to ask for help and receive that help, and then the real magic happens. And that can mean going to somewhere like Rythmia, which is amazing. Okay, so now we're going to talk about Rythmia. So I had done plant medicine previously, about a year prior to going to Rythmia, in November of 18, at a place called Amaro Spirit in the jungle. I was called to go to the jungle the first time, and don't get me wrong, Amaro Spirit is fantastic. If you want to go to the jungle and have more of that kind of experience like in Peru, I recommend going there. It is a very well-defined place. It doesn't have quite the amenities of somewhere like Rythmia. It's like composting toilets, no air conditioning, no hot water, that kind of experience. But the buildings are very nice. They're all screened. It's not like you're in a mud hut in the jungle or in nothing, it's and the Maloka there is beautiful. It's all wooden structures. It's a really, really nice place and well put together, and there's wonderful people there. So if you're called to something like that, I highly recommend Amaro Spirit. And what I would say, if you want to go somewhere else and do ayahuasca, take the intentions of Rythmia with you when you go. And I'll talk about that and explain why in a second. So Rythmia, Jerry had an experience, and there's I'll probably share the documentary in here about Rythmia, but Jerry was the guy that had a real mess in his life, went and did plant medicine, a different plant medicine, iboga, I believe, and was guided by the shaman through that experience because it requires a shaman. And he met with the moon and received instructions after he healed his heart and saw who he was. So these are the intentions of the medicine. He saw who he was. Show me who I have become is the first one. Merge me back with my soul at all costs is the second. And then heal my heart is the third. And you can do that multiple times, 9 times, I guess, within your life, because we have 9 lives. We're like cats. Yeah, so those are the intentions you want to take with you wherever you go. And the reason why is because that's what ayahuasca, and I guess really most plant medicine, wants to do for you anyway. It wants to show you who you've become, because you have to accept who you are in order to move forward. You have to make peace with what's happened in your life and who you are now, and really accept the truth of that before you can heal, right? Before you can heal, before you can move forward. So that's the first thing. Get merged back with pieces of your soul that you lost in previous lives or in this life from trauma as a child, usually. And it can be the smallest thing, and I'll have to share about my little tiny trauma, which was traumatic, but small another time. Small should be in quotes, like it's totally real. It might seem small. And then heal your heart, right? Because your heart is like the epicenter of your connection to source, to energy, to everything, and it gets injured from these traumas. It takes a hit, gets scarred, has wounds, and those need to be healed. So that's the process, and you can take those intentions with you into any ceremony, and they will really help serve you. Because you can ask a bunch of other questions like, am I in the right job? Do I have the right partner? Am I doing the right thing? And you'll get answers, but they really aren't important, because when you go through that process, you find out who you really are, and you already know the answers. You don't have to ask those kind of questions anymore. So that's why it expedites the process, and it really is trusting and allowing and surrendering, asking for help and receiving it, right? You're asking the medicine for help. You're trusting it's going to do the right thing for you. and you receive it completely and you surrender to the process. And that's the trick. That's the whole key to pretty much everything in this reality. That's all we have to do. Get out of our own way, relax, let reality help us. And it will. It will, trust me. So Rythmia, so Jerry went through, I believe, like 49 ceremonies, getting all the instructions for how Rythmia should be set up, how it should be operated, all this stuff from divine source, right? From the moon, which is like the divine feminine in my idea. But what you see at Rythmia is a total combination of masculine and feminine principles at work, because Rythmia is very structured about how they do things. And it's amazing to see that brought to plant medicine, because I hadn't seen that before. And my experience had been fairly limited, but even the things I've heard about other people's experiences, not so much structure to it. And it was something that I wasn't expecting, you know? But it's a system. It's a system that works beautifully. It was divinely, inspired. And that's what I recommend going there, really. Unless you're called somewhere else, it's the thing. Like my partner, Allie, former partner, best friend, Allie, had gone there when I went to Amaru, and she told me about the experience, 4 nights in a row of ceremony. And just, I felt like I would go sometime. And once I got there, and once I heard Jerry's first talk about his experience and in creating it, I already knew like this was a thing. This is a really special thing that's been created here. And the amount of positive impact it had on my life is just unbelievable, totally unbelievable. So I'm going back again in March for Taita, and Taita is the senior Colombian shaman that sometimes comes to Rythmia and does work there. He trained the other shamans that do Yahe night, which is the last night of ceremony. And then I'm also going for Kyle Cease in April 5th. So that one's really cool because Jerry's there, Kyle Cease is there. It's more of the standard type thing. The Taita week is very different. So yeah, come in April when I'm there. If you feel cold, I think it's gonna be amazing time. Yeah, I don't think I'm touching the amazingness of Rythmia really, but it is the best. It's the best. But again, if you want to go somewhere else, those intentions are the most important thing. The other neat thing about Rythmia is they do 4 ceremonies in a row. I haven't seen that before, but it helps to break down your willpower if you are resisting, because you have to surrender for it to work. We have the ability to resist. We have a lot of willpower as human beings. We have free choice, and we can resist the healing that's trying to happen. We can hold on to old stuff that we don't need to, that isn't serving us, and we can do it for a very long time, which I held on to it all for all of it, probably until the last 5 years. And then I've slowly been releasing a lot of this stuff over those years. So that's one of the other big benefits. And the larger group has a lot of energy. There's like 100 people in ceremony, so the energy of that group is also super powerful. The location of Rythmia is super powerful too, as far as I can tell. It's very, I talked about the veil before. The veil is very thin there, so amazing, miraculous things can happen. Just a beautiful, wonderful place. So I super recommend it. Trust and allow. If it resonates with you, check it out. I'm going to share 2 different videos on here, so check those out. And yeah, love you guys.